He stepped in from the cold, wrapped in white gauze, his face hidden beneath layers of bandages like a wound that refused to heal. A long tan coat hung from his shoulders, once expensive, now worn thin by time and neglect. Mirrored sunglasses covered his eyes, reflecting the harsh glow of fluorescent lights. Cowboy boots tapped softly against the concrete floor as he entered the street church. At first, no one paid him much attention. They rarely did. The church was packed with people who had come looking for something. Hope, purpose, forgiveness, answers. Some were homeless. Some were drifting. Others were young adults from middle-class families who believed they were being trained for something greater. They called it Warrior School. Warrior School promised transformation, not just spiritual growth, but destiny. A future where they wouldn't need normal jobs or ordinary lives. A future where they would operate on a higher level, chosen for something special. They called themselves God's Chosen, the King's Kids. The bandaged man took a cup of burnt coffee and sat near the back of the room. He didn't bow his head. He didn't raise his hands. He didn't sing. He simply watched. At the front of the room stood Caleb. Caleb preached like a man trying to outrun something inside himself. His voice rose and fell with practiced intensity. He wore skinny jeans, cheap sneakers, and a black t-shirt that read, "God's not dead, but you might be." His words were polished, sharpened by years of speaking to crowds who wanted to believe. "Don't tell me you're hungry," Caleb shouted. "Your belly isn't the problem. It's your dead, bloated soul." The crowd murmured. Some nodded. Some raised their hands. Others clapped because it felt like the right moment to clap. Caleb had once followed a famous youth pastor who fell from grace. Scandal. Addiction. Secrets. When the pastor died, Caleb was the only one sitting at his bedside. He inherited the fire, but not the wisdom. Now Caleb traveled from city to city, building communities of broken people and convincing them they were warriors. The bandaged man remained still. Caleb stepped down from the makeshift stage and walked through the rows, locking eyes with people, asking questions, calling them out by name. He thrived on reactions, tears, confessions, emotional breakthroughs. Then he noticed the man in the back, the one who wasn't reacting. Caleb paused mid-sentence. His smile tightened. "You come for healing, friend?" Caleb asked as he walked closer. The bandaged man didn't answer. Caleb reached out gently, as if preparing to perform a miracle. That's when the man grabbed his wrist. Not violently, just firmly. "Don't," the man said. His voice was calm, almost kind. Caleb froze. The room went silent. For a moment, it felt like something ancient had passed between them. Something unseen, unspoken, but understood. The bandaged man released him and stood. No drama, no explanation. He simply turned and walked toward the exit. Caleb laughed nervously. "That man is seeking," he said to the crowd. "God's doing a deep work in him." The crowd offered a weak amen. But something had shifted. Outside, the night swallowed the bandaged man whole. Streetlights reflected off his sunglasses as he disappeared into the darkness, unnoticed by a world that had never really looked at him to begin with. He had once been someone important, someone admired, someone loved. Now he was invisible. And this was only the beginning. If you'd like to read the full story of the Invisible Simp, you can find it on my Substack at kevinfrazier.substack.com/p/theinvisiblesimp. You can also read it on Ream at reamstories.com/kevinfrazierhorrorwriter. Links are in the description. New chapters, exclusive stories, and behind-the-scenes content are posted regularly. If you enjoy dark, psychological horror with spiritual and philosophical themes, that's where you'll find the rest of this world.